What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Listen, I'm still trying to get caught up. So this is Love and Marriage Huntsville. I started to double up, but child, listen, let's get into it. First of all, this is season 11, episode what? I don't even know what this episode is anymore. Season 11, episode 10. So let's start at the beginning of this. Is it me, or does it feel like we are filming two different shows? Like, I feel like we are filming two different shows right now. We have, because this is probably the third episode that we've had this season where we see absolutely none of the Scots, not one of the Scots. And what I don't understand is, how do you have four people who are main characters? They're in the open, their name is on the opening credits, main characters, yet this is probably the third episode where we have not seen either one of that, none of them. Not a conversation, not a phone call, not a FaceTime, nothing. And these storylines have absolutely no overlap, like none. Um, and then this whole situation with what we got going on with Nell and all that, like, I don't care about none of this. I don't care about none of this. So let me just get into it. So this first scene, we have Chris meeting up with Martell. Is it me? Or it seems like that was a very awkward scene to sit through. Like, Martell and Chris seem like they have, you could, it doesn't seem like they're friends. It doesn't seem like they talk to each other unless they're filming. It seems like they have absolutely no connection to each other at all. Is it just me? That was just an awkward conversation, and they were bumbling through it. I mean, of course, Chris had to tell that same story again about Marceau and him telling Marceau, who the F you talking to? Like, we done heard him tell that story 20 times. And of course, Martell was eating it up because you know how he feel about Marceau. And anytime he feel like somebody can get Marceau together, he is there for it. So Martell was there like a little kid in a candy store, like, yeah, ooh, 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 ooh. Then they start talking about Nell and these businesses, and it seemed like such a weird transition and a weird conversation. And Martell, why is it any of your business whether whether Nell acknowledges what Chris has done for her business? They are a married couple, and that is married couple's business. You and your misogynistic ass, your male chauvinist ass, you so concerned about, well, does she show you respect? I mean, does she acknowledge that? I mean, because that's, you bought that daycare, right? That was your money, right? That was yours, right? I'm so confused. What does that have anything? That has absolutely nothing to do with you, Martell Holt. You worry about what you got going on in your situation, because how many businesses they have and who's running the business and whose business it is. It was weird, and it came out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere. Um, then we have a scene once again about two people I don't care nothing about. We have Trish and Ken. I don't care nothing about it, because Trish is talking to Sharon about getting back together with Ken. And let me tell y'all something. Sharon, the smartest person on this show right now. Sharon told her point blank. Sharon said, "Look, girl, you told that man that you circled the block." And she was like, "Yeah, you know." And she was like, She said, "Did you? How you think he felt about that?" And she said something that's just right on time. She said, "Let me tell you something." She said, "Men want a lot of grace when they step out, or when they circle the block, or when they cheat, whatever word you want to use. They want a lot of grace, but they're not quick to give it. They're not quick to give that same grace that they want. They're not quick to acknowledge when it's on the other side." And I said, "You better tell her. You better tell her. You better let her know." Trish and Ken, I don't know if y'all are holding on for this show. I don't know what is going, because again, I don't even think y'all really like each other that much anymore. They should rename the show the Fletchers. After this season, they really should. Because I feel like we've been talking more about the Fletchers than anybody else. Then they need to get rid of Trish and Ken. Yeah, Trish and Ken can go. Like, they can go. Then we have a scene where we have Nell and Destiny and Martell meeting up. Destiny just closed the deal, so she said she was celebrating, so she invited Nell and she invited Martell to celebrate with her because she closed this deal. Great. They get to talking, and once again, and Nell invites Destiny over. She said, "I'm having a family dinner and I want you to come through." And Destiny was like, "Family dinner? Like, what you talking about? What family dinner?" And she was like, "Well, I'm just having some people over, I want you to come through." And Destiny already know how them family dinners go. And she was like, "Okay, all right, So then we have Martell come in. I do like to see Nell's husband in them tight pants. Kim, shut up, Kim. Kim, be good. And again, Martell decides that he wants to talk to Nell about acknowledging what Chris has done and acknowledging this business and what Chris's input in the business and the success of the business. Let me tell y'all something. Martell, I really wish you would go and find some business, because this is none of your business. None of this has nothing to do with you, Martell. This is not your business. This does not concern you. And I don't understand why you are involved and why you are questioning Nell. Now, Nell, you handled it very well. Nell was like, "Listen, yeah, Chris has done a lot, but that's my daycare. I run that daycare." He said, but didn't Chris help you out? She said, "Let me tell you something. We're married. He did what he was supposed to do as my husband, but that is my business." He said, "Well, don't Chris help out?" She said, "Chris is on payroll." I said, "I know that's right. You better let him know." She said, "Chris is on payroll. So yeah, Chris does things and he gets paid to do it." She said, "And yes, he's helped me out. There have been times when he's had to bail me out. Absolutely, he has." She was like, "But again, we're married, and that's what married people do for each other." I just didn't understand I just don't understand. And again, I don't know if they're trying to build up a storyline that we're going to get later on down the road or what, but I don't understand the whole purpose of this conversation. I don't understand why Martell is in it. I don't understand why he's inserting himself. And again, when it comes to Martell, you can't give nobody no information about nothing being married or nothing else. None of that. And then of course they had to get Martell caught up on what happened at the between Tisha and Destiny. And Nell was trying to, I don't think Nell was defending Tisha. What I think Nell was doing was trying to be fair, because Martell wasn't there, and so I think Nell was trying to make sure Martell got both sides of the story. And now, Nell, you were being messy when you gonna say Tisha got the best of you, or Tisha got you, and talking about some, because you saw Tisha coming over there and Kimmy had to hold her back. And Destiny was like, "Yeah," and I walked right past her on my way out and she ain't had nothing to say. Look, as a friend, I didn't feel like that part was necessary, because now it does feel like you're instigating. So Nell shouldn't be in her feelings about having to bail Chris out. Oh, you think that's why Martell brought it up? But here's the thing. I don't feel like Nell, we saw Nell. Now, let's be clear. I was not with Nell when she had that whole fit and was crying and was so upset about Chris and all that. I think she was wrong because, again, okay, Chris' situation is fucked up. But again, that's what married people do. They look out for each other. But I don't feel like Nell said anything to Martell about it. So I still don't feel like it was Martell's place to insert. I could see if Nell went to Martell and was like, I can't believe, that Chris did this to me and Chris got me stuck. Chris this, Chris that. But ain't nobody talking to Martell. Even when Martell and Chris were talking, Chris didn't say, well, she giving me a hard time about it and da-da-da-da-da. I mean, he was kind of talking as a husband would talk, but I still don't see where that was Martell's place. I hear what you're saying, though, Kim, but I still don't feel like that was Martell's place to insert himself, because who the fuck are you? Just like he said to Marceau, who the F are you? Well, who the F are you, Martell? But your point is valid. I agree that she shouldn't be complaining because they've done for each other. But I said that from the beginning. I said that when Chris first told her about the license and she was going off I said it then, But if that was his reason for bringing it up, production should have done a better job of fleshing that out, because that ain't what it seemed like to me. You know what I'm saying? So then we get to, hey, everybody. Then we get to the family dinner. Can I tell you that this was the most ridiculous shit I have ever seen in my life? So first of all, Lance brings flowers. And he brings flowers for his mom and his dad. Nell, what is wrong with you? Why are you mad that Lance bought flowers for both of his parents? Talking about, why are you bringing him flowers? You should be bringing me the flowers. These are my flowers. What? Then you have Kayla there. You got Lance, you got Chris, you got the niece. And they're having this family dinner, and they realize all the food that's there. And they're like, Mom, you didn't cook too much food. You got too much food. You got too much food. And Nell is just giggling, talking about something. Well, we got some special guests coming. We got some special guests coming. So Twan shows up. And the minute that Twan shows up, Kayla is like, oh, okay. So I see what this is. Oh, all right. Okay. I see what's going on here. Oh, okay. I see what this is. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Then Destiny shows up, and the minute Destiny walks in the room, Destiny's like, okay, what the F is going on here? Like, I'd have been invited to this family dinner. You got Twan, you got Kayla, you got Lance. Like, what the F is going on here? Then they pull Destiny to the side with just Chris and Nell, and they giving her the third degree about her love life. Are her and Twan dating? When, the what, the where, the how of her and Twan dating? How long ago was it? Is it over? Is it not over? Let me explain something. Destiny don't owe y'all shit. And for the exception that they're filming the show, because I don't know how much of this is true and how much of this is just a fake ass storyline. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, part of me don't believe none of this shit. Part of me believes that Destiny's desperate to stay on the show and she needs a storyline. Part of me believes that the Fletchers are creating storylines, because none of this shit even makes sense to me. The only person let me rewind. Let me rewind. If I were to believe this storyline, if I were to believe that this was a real storyline, the only person that really owes anybody a conversation, in my opinion, would be Twan talking to Chris. And let me tell you why. If Twan, because what it sounds like, this is what it sounds like. It sounds like Twan and Chris were best friends. Twan started hanging out at the house, and he hung out at the house so much that they basically adopted him and started calling him their godson. That's what it sounds like. It does not sound like that this was like a whole, your mother asked us to be your godparents and you grew up with us. Because the more they talk, the more they tell on themselves. Because they had us thinking that this boy was a part of their family and they grew up with everybody and he was the godson and he'd been there his whole life. But then in this last episode, they said something to the effect of, when you started coming around, we took you in when you started coming around. So it sounds like him and Lance were friends. He started hanging out with the family and they took him in and he became like family, like a lot of us do with our best friends and our best friends' families. That's what it sounds like to me. So the only person that I feel like owes anybody a conversation in this might, and I say might, I'm saying might be Twan talking to Chris. And the only reason why I say might is because, like Twan said, look, we don't even know what this is yet. Yes, we like each other. We vibe. We've gone out on a couple of dates, but she's still doing her thing. I'm still doing my thing. And I'm not committed to anybody. I am single. I don't have a girlfriend. And if and when I decide that me and Kayla are going to make this something more serious, yes, I feel like I should have come to you and had that conversation. But as long as they just, kicking it, it's really not. Kayla is a grown-ass woman. Now, I understand that that's your baby girl. I got that. Got that. But just like Nell keeps saying, she want to stop the kids stressing her out. This is an example, Nell, of how you insert yourself into your kids' lives unnecessarily. Who your daughter is sleeping with / dating is not. Didn't you just say last week? Didn't you just have a whole conversation with them boys last week and told them, stop bringing people around if you're not serious? Don't bring me in it. Don't bring them into our family. Don't infuse them into our family. And if you're not serious, didn't you just have that conversation last week with your kids? So I say the same thing. Take your own advice. And you are absolutely right. Kayla told on y'all last week when Kayla said, well, I didn't even know that Twan and Chris were friends, or Twan and Lance. Like, she said she didn't, when they started hanging out, she didn't even know the connection. So once again, I'm back to this fake ass storyline. Kayla did seem surprised by Twan's response. So I'm going to get to that in a minute, Kim. You're right. I'm about to get to that in a second, though. That I'm about to get to. Now, while they're questioning Destiny out in the living room, what's up, T? Hey, boo. While they're questioning Kayla in the living room about Destiny, about who she dating, who she not dating, the rest of them are in the kitchen. And Twan said, look, he said, yeah, me and Destiny went out on a date. Baby, the whole family was like, date? He was like, yeah, I'm single. Kayla's single. He said, if I go out and I see Kayla having dinner with a dude, I'm going to keep walking. That ain't my business. We're not together. Now, I think Kayla was a little surprised that her and Twan weren't a little bit more serious than what maybe she thought. That's just my 2 cents on that. Now, this whole Destiny bumped me thing, y'all are really reaching. Y'all are really, really reaching. So now y'all are trying to imply that Destiny felt some kind of way about Kayla messing with Twan. Therefore, she bumps Kayla. Now she did walk by Kayla and bump her, but it was, I mean, it looked like they were just passing each other and she kind of bumped into her. It was so weird. Because here's the thing. Let's rewind this tape all the way back to when Destiny went out to eat with Twan. Twan was the one that started this. Twan started this whole situation when he told Destiny, well, you know, I guess you heard them rumors about me. And Destiny was like, what rumors? Well, you know, people out here saying that I'm messing with Kayla. Twan, ain't nobody talking about you and Kayla. Nobody was talking about it. Because Destiny didn't know, Lance didn't know, the mom and daddy didn't know. Nobody knew. And which brings me back to, I just feel like this was a fake ass storyline from the beginning, just to have a comment. I just think it was a fake ass storyline. And I'm gonna tell you what it really is. Y'all want to know what I think it really is? Now, T, I'm glad you ain't here, boo. I hope you ain't pop out already. You know, I hope you ain't gone because T, I want you to hear this. I think the Fletchers conspired to create a storyline to deflect from having to talk about Chris's daughter doing her 5-part series, because y'all know production will be quick to make them try to talk about some shit that happened on the internet. And we know that Chris's oldest daughter, she did a whole 4 or 5-part series where she kind of broke down her story. She told her side of the story of her relationship with Nell, her relationship with her father, her relationship with her mother, and that whole thing going all the way back. Remember, she started from the beginning and told her whole story uninterrupted, and she did it in series. And I think they created this bullshit ass storyline to give production a storyline so that production wouldn't talk to them about that. And I think they were hoping that they wasn't going to have to talk about Chris getting his license suspended. But I think they sacrificed that because it was so, you know, you kind of couldn't get away from that. So I think they just went on to say, fuck it, we're going to talk about Chris getting his license suspended because we can't get around that. But that's what I think, y'all. I honestly think that they just were trying to skirt. Because this don't make, y'all know how I feel about this shit. If it don't make sense, something ain't true. And this whole thing makes no fucking sense to me. T said that's what I said, and we still don't really know what he do to lose his license. Okay. And Kimmy insinuated that it's deep. Like if you read between the lines of what Kimmy said, when Kimmy was like, it takes a lot for them to suspend your license. She said normally they just give you a little pop on the hand and they make you pay a fine. But she said it takes a lot. Chris was playing with people's money, from what I understand. I don't remember all the details, but from the article I read, he was playing with people's money. That's the fastest way for somebody to lose their license. You play with somebody's money. Just like with lawyers. Lawyers can do a whole lot of shit and they can walk right on that edge, but mess up somebody's money. Mess up your client's money. Mismanage your client's funds. Baby, that's the fastest way to get disbarred. And I think it was something with money. I don't remember all the details, but it was something with money. I'm gonna just go ahead and be honest. I'm reviewing the show because that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna review the show. But if I'm being perfectly honest, I really think it's some bullshit. I think this storyline is some bullshit. And Carlos, I know you've already renewed. Hey, Carlos King right here. Carlos right here. I know you've already renewed for season 12, and that's fine. I mean, you know, it's whatever. But what I will say is we're going to renew the show for season 12. You got to get the Scotts more involved. I don't know why they did not film as much. I don't know what was going on. I mean, I get it. Some people might say, well, they weren't bringing nothing to the table. They don't have nothing to talk about. That's fine. But we like, they're your marquee. They're your OGs. Like, Give us something. And maybe they don't want to give us something. Like maybe I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why they're not filming. But we can't have another season where we go 3 or 4 full episodes where all we seeing is the Fletchers and Trish and Ken. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Give me more Destiny selling houses. I know she can't show her son. I get that. I don't necessarily want her to exploit her relationship with her mom. I mean, we got it. But why we can't see more of her building a relationship with her new brothers and sisters? Why can't we see her maneuvering life as a single mom, navigating, she's, selling houses and she's in real estate? Like, give us more than Destiny, than y'all trying to turn her into a hoe. Got her dating 4 and 5 different men and shit. Like, give us more than that. I read that he was holding earnest money. Yeah, I think it's something dealing with money. Yeah, Lon, that sounds about right. So honestly, y'all, it was an episode. I knew I could do it in like 30 minutes. That's why I said, let me jump on and get that, because it really wasn't much more to it, if we're being honest. I mean, it just wasn't nothing there. I don't care nothing about Ken and Barbie because they can go on somewhere. And this whole situation with Martell inserting himself in the Fletcher's marriage, don't care about none of that. But y'all gonna have to give us something else next season. Again, don't know why the sky, and here's what I'm gonna say, and I've said this before, when it comes to reality shows, at a certain point, characters run out of things to give us. If the Scots don't have nothing left, then let it go. Then you got to find some new blood, Carlos. If the Scots aren't willing to give us more or don't have more to give us, like y'all gave us a whole fight. That's the worst we have ever seen between Martell and Maurice, and we ain't seen them since. We have not seen Maurice and Marceau since. You ain't give us that. We didn't see a conversation between Kimmy and Maurice. When Maurice got home that night, what did he say to Kimmy? After he walked his ass down that damn mountain, what did he say to Kimmy? When Marceau went home that night, what did he say to Tisha? Did they call their other brother? When you have 2 brothers that fight, what about the 3rd brother that just went to law school? Ain't nobody call him and say, let me tell you about what your brother did? Because I know that's what happened to me. If me and my sister get into a fight, I'm calling my brother, and vice versa. When my brother was still here, he getting a phone call. Let me tell you what your sister did. Like, ain't nobody called nobody. We have not seen them since. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Like, hello? I mean, we saw Kimmy and Tisha have a little bullshit conversation, but they talked more about Destiny than they did about their husbands having probably one of the biggest arguments that since this show has been on, that's the biggest argument we have seen the 2 of them have. I mean, Maurice threatened to sue his brother, and we don't get no other conversations, nothing. We ain't heard nothing. Y'all got to give us more than this. Scots. With that being said, y'all, we about to head over to El Teddy's house. We got a full docket tonight. We about to head over to El Teddy's house. He's doing, he's live for no damn reason on Fridays. You can click the link. You can come up. You can share what you got to say. Talk about what you want to talk about. And then I'm going to do a quick live on Dr. Bryant, or should we even be calling her doctor? Should we be calling her Dr. Bryant? We're going to talk about her. And then we are doing, the panel will be doing their review of Chasing Atlanta Part 3. That is at 8:30, and that is right back here. So, y'all, we got a lot to talk about tonight. It's a full docket, y'all. It's a full docket. Get your dinner, kick your feet up, pour you a drink. We got a long night. We're going to be here for a while. Okay? All right. With that being said, you think that storyline was fake too between Marceau and Maurice? I don't know about that one. It might be, but I don't know about that. Do I think Maurice was really going to sue his brother? No. But do I think he was mad enough to say it? Yeah. Remember, Kimmy put that battery in his bag. So. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. I'll see y'all in about an hour and a half. Peace.